Massive giveaways await you for the Shadowlands launch, and boy oh boy, flying in Shadowlands just got easier and comes quicker too. Veteran WoW dev leaves Blizzard and talks about some harsh realities, and did Ion Hazzikostas just confirm Nathanos returning in Shadowlands? All this plus more in On Cooldown, the weekly WoW news shows that's always positive, like Flame was a couple of weeks ago. Now he's fine, okay? He's fine. Hold down to your seats because we are going to let out a lot of Blizzard giveaways for all you guys all over the world.
Believe it.
Where's that gonna happen? Where's
That's gonna happen on our launch of the Shadowlands stream, which is gonna be our longest stream yet. We are going to attempt the 50-60 race. Well, not really a race. We're gonna, we're gonna take a shot. We're gonna talk with you, engage with you. But we are going to have a big ass stream with like pizzas and beer, Mountain Dews, and all that good stuff while leveling from 50 to 60 with the party with our admin. So it's gonna be pretty cool.
And on top of that, every hour during that stream, we're gonna kick off a giveaway, which will be consisted of a lot of Blizzard giveaways, all types of goodies. There's toys, there's fine prints, there's Shadowlands press kits over there, keychains, pins, goodies. All of the good stuff Blizzard sent us to send out to you. So be sure you join that stuff on top of a live performance of Still I Play WoW. See you in Shadowlands.
I've been loving it then, I still love it now. Still, I play WoW. Still, I play WoW. Getting better every day, let me show you how.
Which we rehearsed, okay? We rehearsed and it's probably gonna go bad, but nevertheless, being cringe is part of the motto. So remember, November the 23rd, 11 p.m. GMT, twitch.tv/MarcelianOnline. Don't miss out on all the goodies we have to give out and join us for the biggest stream we ever had on the channel. Now let's get into the news.
Oh, what do we have today, man?
The news.
Transition.
So, flying in Shadowlands. You want to know more on how that's going to work, right? Well, here's the thing. Ion Hazzikostas had a big-ass interview with Wowhead, and boy oh boy were there a lot of topics addressed, and one of them was flying in Shadowlands. While not asked directly, Ion did mention that you will be able to fly in Shadowlands in the first major patch after the official launch, meaning in patch 9.1, which is pretty great news, as previously we kind of got that only in the second major patch of an expansion. You're probably aware of all those Pathfinder achievements you had to do in order to fly and all the reputations you had to go through, which, in all fairness, at least in BFA, it didn't take that long. But still, it's quite important to know that multiple faction reputations will not be a requirement anymore, but rather the fact that flying will be linked to your Covenant campaign and all its successive chapters, and whoever played on the beta knows that those chapters will demand high amounts of renown to unlock. But hey, at least renown will have multiple catch-up mechanics as opposed to, reputations. All this was in the context of Shadowlands dropping the Flight Master's whistle, a beloved item that I sometimes use IRL to call on Flame whenever he has his headphones on. Don't know why, but that sound penetrates his playlist and he becomes immediately available to fly me to places. You, on the other hand, might have used this in Legion and BFA to get you to the nearest flight path, but sadly, you will not be able to anymore. The explanation was that in Shadowlands, the endgame activities are structured a bit differently than previous expansions, as for example, emissaries are no more, but instead you get callings, which are essentially the same thing, but they only send you to a single zone. A big majority of your endgame activities prior to Season 1 will be held in your Covenant of choice, and that will also come with a transportation network. I mean, sure, you will have one or two quests in other zones here and there, but the big majority will likely be in the same zone you chose your Covenant from, and not have you zigzag big amounts of terrains for multiple quests. We'll see how this pans out, but you'd at least be happy for the flying thing, coming faster in the expansion cycle and seemingly being easier to unlock. Now, it wouldn't be an Ion Hazzikostas interview without some talks regarding class. covenants and legendary balancing, and it is clear that major covenant changes will only come in big patches, and there are no plans for that just yet. But Ian did mention that conduits and legendary tuning will still be going on after the launch, but in a much more micromanaging manner, because they don't want to make people feel they lost something after investing so much time in it. Like all those BM mains who suddenly switch to marksman. You know who you are. I see ya. Hey, it's all love. But the most important thing you need to remember out of all this is that Ian said outliers will definitely receive more tuning changes. So hide your marksmans and fire mages. Hazzikostas is coming.
And today's comment of the day comes from Blood Elf B.
Glad you are feeling better. Not that it matters, but are you guys a romantic couple?
And Joey M.
They aren't.
And Prakalakos.
Are they brothers or what?
And again, Joey M.
Nah, just friends. I asked in the past too, lol.
Well then. Goodbye, my lover.
No.
Goodbye, my son.
No, man.
You have been the one. You have been the brother to me.
I cannot work like this.
Goodbye, my niece.
Dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? Is WoW still an MMORPG? Wait, what is an MMORPG? Well, the acronym stands for Massive Multiplayer Online Role-Playing Game. Well, if you look at Goldshire, you can say that, yeah, it's still an RPG at the very least. Although in recent years, it's been put to question when looking at how the game systems and character progression have been designed. Chris Kaliki made a video on his YouTube channel about his Blizzard experience and why he left. If you don't know who he is, he has been the main class designer on Druid, Warlock, Shaman, Hunter, and Priest in Wrath, Kata, and Mop. He also actually designed the Monk class back in Mop and the Shadow Priest revamp in Shadowlands, as well as some Monk legendaries in Shadowlands. That plus War Mode and other things made him one of the biggest assets for WoW when it came to game design. And all of this is important for you to understand that, the dude knows his shit. And it's another dev that started as a player, a lover of the game. The points he made as to why he left are things we in the community have been talking about for years. Now it's down to the devs, Jesus. Things like there's no more social aspect to the game since it has been designed to appease the solo players more. Looking for group made the game faster, sure, more convenient, but it also killed the human interaction between players talking to each other to form a group. Social aspects that built the game and made it popular were reduced to a button press. Again, not new info. Listening to Chris talk about what he thinks the game lost reminded me of my early vanilla days. Back then, the emphasis was strongly on the guild and making your own story. The game was more sandboxy, sure, and the story wasn't as fleshed out or almost at all there until like later stages of vanilla. At the time, giving a way to imagination to fill in the blanks where you wouldn't find anything else. I would gather my buddies and attack Stranglethorn Alliance camps and slowly move to Duskwood. By the time we reached Stormwind, we would have a full-on Horde versus Alliance raid battle. It was amazing. It wasn't repeatable content like actual raiding and battlegrounds, but it was us. It was our story. The story of how a gang turned into a faction war, which in hindsight is what I thought and hoped BFA would be. That it would reignite the Alliance versus Horde itch, which has stood at the base of the game since Warcraft 1. Now we have tasks, dailies, grinds, and AP to get. There's always something you have to do to progress your character, as opposed to a halt that you could reach that would open up things you can do on your own. The game focuses so much on end game progression and makes you feel like you lose out if you don't do a mythic plus key a week or farm some raid bosses for that one mount on multiple characters to increase the chance of you getting it. I feel like I can do a Stormwind raid, but then I would be behind my friends and guildmates. It's not bad, don't get me wrong, the game is still fun, it's just different. And honestly, WoW feels more like an online action RPG than an MMO. It feels like Diablo 3 with PvP. Then, oh, I just happened to run into an alliance. Oh, he has 5 friends. Oh, who have 10 friends. Oh, holy fucking shit, where did all this alliance come from? Kaliki believes the game focuses too much on progression systems instead of the core systems like guilds, which compose the core pillars of an MMO. And doesn't it really just feel like it? At least starting with Legion, which was okay, but BFA went balls deep with it and Shadowlands is taking it to 11. That aside, Chris left WoW and he has been a very influential game designer and we are still enjoying his work to this day. It's an interesting time we live in for sure, with Mike Morhaime announcing Dreamhaven and Chris Metzen having his own future gaming studio. It seems like more and more talent is starting something outside of Blizzard, or at the very least leaving the company because of the core philosophies that have changed. As a man that worked on the inside, he thinks that the game won't die. The IPs are strong, the company is strong, and they will persevere, and I think that too. They just changed from what we fell in love with, and now I know how every guy in every relationship feels like. No? Just me? Alright. The devs have been listening to us more in the recent months. Not enough, but more than in BFA, and hopefully we can go back to a time where they actively seek out feedback from the community, both in terms of balance and game design, because at the end of the day, we are playing the game, and when enough people say jump, well, maybe it's time to move that butt.
Did you miss me talking about Ion Hazzikostas interviews? Well, all of them will be in the description. But there was a very interesting topic in regards to storytelling and lore, and of course, he mentions the mistakes made in BFA and how they tried to get back to a more epic single tale in Shadowlands. But what about Nathanos Blightcaller? I mean, Sylvanas' good old pup did say this.
Go on. Kill me. You'll send me right to my lady.
So, kill me, you're gonna send me right back to my lady? This does imply we'll see Nathaniel in the Shadowlands, right? And Ian sort of spilled the beans on this, saying, there is certainly a chance. We'll see for sure. I'm not going to give a specific answer to that, but he said what he said for a reason. So Nathanos gets killed by Tyrande, and now he's probably wandering in the Shadowlands, or he's chilling out with the Dark Lady. But you have to remember that, and this is a bit of a spoiler if you haven't read Shadows Rising. At the end of the book, you witness a complete rejection by Sylvanas towards Nate. And boy, was that an emotional impact for many, but the fact remains, Sylvanas dismissed him. So, when we will meet him again, Nathanos that is, what will he be doing and who will be his next boss lady? Because Sylvanas will surely be all over the jailer. What do you think?
Now, in case you forgot, I don't know if you catch the beginning of the video, but hey, November the 23rd, the launch of Shadowlands, twitch.tv/MarcelianOnline.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be the place to be, man. A lot of giveaways, leveling up until 60, live performance.
A lot of nerdiness. Oh, God damn it. I keep saying that.
Yeah, it's gonna be off the chains, you know, so everything's gonna be set up properly. The biggest stream we ever had on the channel. We're probably looking at a lot of hours.
A lot of coffee and Red Bull and coffee.
Yeah, and something to eat as well. So don't miss out. On top of that, well, it was a pretty dull week, I would say, because I think I can speak for all of us. Everybody's waiting for the Shadowlands to
everybody.
launch.
I mean, the pre-patch is fine. It's zombies. People try to kill Nathanos with zombies, but apparently it didn't drop any loot.
Yeah.
For the zombie people, I
Something
was like,
yeah.
Why am I working for it if I'm not gonna get any
Man,
loot?
you're a zombie. You cannot get any loot.
I mean,
Just get
it's
brains.
cool. It's a fun pre-patch event. but it's still, you know, you do it and then you get bored.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? So the thing about the pre-patch event is they, you know, they segmented it, right? It's all been in chapters, basically. Because if they did the whole thing together, like everything, it would have been a bit more fun, let's say, or more interesting.
Fun, but it would have been also like an hour or so, and then just not log in for like a week and a half.
So nobody can ever be pleased, but you know who can be pleased, I hope? It's our Patreons, baby, because know they keep on supporting everything that we do over here. Again, supporting us on Patreon will get us more quality and probably quantity in our videos, but we do focus on quality and proper
Quality first.
information. You know, class guides 2 per week, and we're gonna kick them off as soon as we get into the fucking new season on Cooldown Weekly, Wow News Show, the MoCast podcast, which will have the last episode of season 1 this Monday.
And the stream, because god damn it, you guys are supporting us on the stream every day, with all the little subs and the tips and everything. It's not little actually, but I'm trying to play it off right now, but it's actually very
huge.
humbling and very overwhelming. We are really thankful and grateful for you guys. Thank you for the support. We do stream normally 5 days a week, and we cover everything dungeons, raids, and lately leveling as well. Hopefully one day PvP. And
yeah, that's in the future. Once again, we feel super humble and thankful for each and every one of you, from the biggest Patreon to the folks that are just watching the videos for 1 minute because that's all they can take of us. Thank you for everything.
That's all the dose of Marcelian they can take.
Yeah, but hey, thank you for watching this video,
Thank you very much.
we wish you a very happy and pleasant weekend.
I don't know why I felt I was gonna say Merry Christmas.
That's coming. The Merry Christmas thing is coming.
Soon.
All right, bye-bye, everybody.
Take care, have a nice weekend.
I've been loving it then, I still love it now. Still, I play WoW. Still, I play WoW. Getting better every day, let me show you how. Cause still, I play WoW. Still, I play WoW. It's getting harder to stay, but at the end of the day, it's a guilty pleasure, so just log in and play. Whether it's classic or retail, I'ma do a /bow. Still, I play WoW.